Hi, welcome back to the channel and this video. Noticed nearly at 700 subscribers, which is really good. If by any chance managed to reach 1000 subscribers, I will re-upload my first ever face reveal video I did back in 2013 and share that with you. That'll be interesting. So regarding this video, it's a viewer requested one. Credit to Danny Astronomy, who contacted me about what they saw in Kenny's video. They had good vision to be able to see it and notice it, because most people, even me, didn't pick up on it. So basically, to briefly explain and introduce it, set the scene, is this weird thing that shows up is located in Snakebit McGee's Kenny Veach Hike video at the minute mark of 16 minutes 12 seconds. Now, it's located in Picture Canyon, I believe, and he's walking out of it. And this is the same location where Kenny was, where Sean was. Basically, you know, on the right hand side, if you're coming out and you've got those row of caves, kind of like M-shaped type one, the shallow, weird shaped one, and then the covered up cave where all the rocks are covering it. And then opposite that covered up one, you have that weird shaped one, slightly higher up in the mountains, if you want to call it that, which people said has got eyes in, those two like glowing eyes, supposedly. So already that area has a few dodgy things or weird looking type stuff, especially with that keyhole as well, because that's located in the same area. Now, it's located on the right hand side at the 16-minute mark. As Kenny is walking out, he slightly turns around, and it's the end bit of the rock. So I don't know if you want to call it a hill or a mountain, like that rock formation above, getting towards the end of it, slightly around the corner, the end bit of rock almost glows purple, some kind of glowing purple rock. If not that, maybe painted purple, who knows. And he doesn't make reference, he doesn't say anything. He moves the camera away, carries on walking out of the canyon, and then he looks back one more time, and then you can see the rock formation and the height of it. So that's one thing to take in consideration. Now, as we know, you've got the covered up cave, you've got the keyhole, somewhat connected. I believe so. Maybe not in it being the actual MK, but still somewhat connected, because it's all on the same, you know, face. Can I just use a bit of wood, for example? You know, imagine if this is rock formation and you're walking past it. It's almost like walking past a wall, which is fairly high up and probably goes in a bit as well. And as Kenny is walking, he walks past that M-shaped cave, he walks past that other shallow cave, one of which has got the keyhole in, and then as he's walking past, then the covered up cave is there with the rockfall, and he carries on walking, continuing on past that wall of rock, which is fairly high up, and then he comes towards the end of it, where it ends and bends around, and then it's all open flat land again, because that's the end of that like mountain, that hill. And it's just round the bend, like the edging of the rock kind of glows purple. He's walking along, comes towards the end, slightly turns the camera around, and you can kind of see the glowing purple at the end, and then walks off. That's just one way to describe it. So I'll show you the clip now. The clip will consist of him just briefly walking and passing the covered up cave, that M-shaped one, where the keyhole is located as well, and then eventually turning around to see the glowing rock. And then I'll do it frame by frame to make it clearer and explain more.
Dust. Oops. And the canyon's getting a little more narrow, dark, and it's shaped like it's shaped just like the letter M. So lots of little caves and stuff along here, and it's about level with the ground, like in an area like this. So I don't want to pass it. You know? And then there's caves like that, you know, up there. And there's actually caves all over the place up here. It's a really cool place. If you want to come spelunking, this is the place to come.
Okay, so it is hard to see. So I'll show you a frame by frame one now. So it's still quite awkward to see, so I'll show you a zoomed in video of it.
All over the place up here. It's a really cool place. If you want to come, it's a really cool place. If you want.
Okay, so it should be clearer now. If not, these are the two best screenshots to show what was seen, which is some kind of purpley type light off of the rock. You know, it does bend round slightly. It's not just one side, it's 2D, it bends. Now, the ultimate question is, what could it be? I'm just going to briefly filter it, see if it does anything or not. So that blends in with that. So, as you can see already, this filter I've used makes the rock and stuff darker in tone, but it brings out, well, it doesn't really bring out, it just shows that purple light in a clearer way because everything else has been made darker. Any others? That too kind of shows it. So does that. Cartoon, kinda. That doesn't quite. That one kind of works as well. Don't want to mess with the colours too much. I just want to try and change the lighting at least. Don't want to view that. It's the original. So you can definitely still see it. So it is definitely a light and a different colour. Now the colour purple is a bit unusual. Why should it be there? Certain theories could be, is it some kind of paint? Just like how in that weird shaped cave where people said they could see eyes, it was in fact white paint or something by someone. Could it be the same here, but why would it be purple paint? And why does it need to be painted on a rock like that? Is it some kind of signal, sign, some kind of symbol, some kind of marker? As some people do end up marking rocks or ground or areas to identify somewhere, or some kind of checkpoint, who knows? Or the simple theory could be it's just simply light reflecting some kind of lens blur from the sunlight, the sun in the sky reflecting off the lens or something, creating like that weird colour, what you can see in the corner of your screen or so. But I don't know, it just looks a bit too small. You know, normally it's closer to the screen, especially if you're gliding around with the camera and then you get the sunlight and then you see that weird blurry effect, like how you can with your eyes if you look to the corner of your eye when it's sunny. Whereas this, it seems the focus on it, the distance of it, it seems further away, which is kind of odd. And it does bend slightly round the rock. Now, if it's some kind of reflective thing, I don't know if it could really bend around from the camera lens and then the sunlight. I don't know if it would work. So the second screenshot, which is the best and the clearest, which was sent to me by Danny, was this one. As you can clearly see, I can't zoom in on this, but as you can see, it's definitely purple. If I can just do some kind of pointer, as you can see, it's there, purplish. It goes down and then slightly down here and then around there. So down, comes down here, and then it's present there as well. So that's kind of weird, is it not? Just for that one area. Now, I think afterwards he does move onwards, turns back round, and you can see, you know, the rock formation again, but I don't think it's as visible then. I don't even think it is visible. So that could debunk that. But nevertheless, it does look a bit weird how it's just only focused on that rock bit. And as well, it is towards the end of the rock wall, which is just before it is the covered up cave. Just another quick look at the filters. We've got cartoon. If it will show up or not. Give it a second. There you go. So you can see the outline of it, purplish. Kind of weird how it is and how it's only in that area or zone. If we try and filter it again, maybe change that, doesn't do much. Exposure, I don't think we need to change most of these settings because he's edited it good enough. Now we use the contrast, you can definitely make the image sharper. We don't need to change saturation because that physically changes the colour, which we don't want. So set that back as it is. I've just simply increased contrast to make it stand out more from everything around it and behind, and basically make the image sharper. So yeah, I think that's the clearest one you can get. So it definitely shows up. You can definitely see the colour, kind of a weird colour. I don't really see any of that like weird blurry cobweb effect like when you see from like the lens reflection or something, if you know what I mean. So, you know, it could be something very simple, could be something more in depth, who knows. But it's only that one area which has showed up. So I think that concludes that. Let's get to the end part. So overall, in conclusion, it could be one of many explanations. I understand a more sensible explanation would be it's some kind of reflective light off the lens, the camera, or from the sun or something bouncing off the rock. You know, it's a valid explanation, but equally, it could be something more dodgy. It could be some kind of paint, could be some kind of marker, who knows? Because at the end of the day, where it's located is basically where the covered up cave is, where that weird hole is, the keyhole, the hole itself, and that other M-shaped cave. You know, because it's all focused in one area, makes it more mysterious, and anything else you do come across or find within the same proximity of the other stuff is bound to, you know, be valid. Right? It could be something mysterious as well, just based off the location of where it is all focused and concentrated at. So, who knows? Now, that basically sums it up for now. Tell me what you think. Maybe you can debunk it. Maybe you have an explanation. The only reason why I say it could possibly be paint as some kind of marker, which I could be wrong, it's just only basing it from, you know the cave which is opposite the covered up one, where people were saying there was some kind of white paint within. So maybe the same applies here. Who knows? That concludes it. Next time round, I will be covering another M cave related thing, something very strange in a way, which I believe is from Really Robbins' Hike, maybe. I'll have to check back. It's regarding a strange symbol. But I won't reveal any more for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's it. Goodbye.